News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The search is on for a missing hiker about 20 miles west of Missoula. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Tuesday, June the 6th, 2017. Right now, the sky's mostly clear. It's a beautiful morning outside. We have 46 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Dig It Excavating, bringing 30 years of excellence to every job. Call 214-4292. This just in this morning. A young woman aged 25 to 35 was reported missing in a wilderness area about 20 miles west of Missoula. Missoula County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan Dunster provides these initial details.
Search and rescue has been activated. They're currently up there on the search. There was a single female that went missing last night about 11:30. Her brother had called in, said that her car was parked at the Squaw Peak trailhead, and she was not there. So right now they're currently searching for her. 2 bears been called, and they're going to page them out. And right now there's nothing to report really other than she's still missing.
Dunster said the unidentified woman may have her dog with her. The search will intensify in the daylight hours. Missoula County Search and Rescue is in charge of that incident. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox says he will not run in 2018 for the U.S. Senate seat now held by Democrat Jon Tester. Monday's announcement by the popular Republican means the national GOP will have to scramble to find a candidate to oppose Tester, who's running for his third term and is considered among the most vulnerable Senate Democrats in 2018. Fox told the Associated Press he still had a lot of work to do as Attorney General, an office in which he was just reelected to last November. Fox was being courted by national and state party leaders to run against Tester after the GOP's first choice, former Congressman Ryan Zinke, took the cabinet position with Secretary of the Interior. 24-year-old Michael Vance is in the Missoula County Jail with a total bail of $95,000 on charges of attempted deliberate homicide and felony aggravated assault. Chief Deputy Missoula County Attorney Jason Marks provides details.
Mr. Vance appeared on an attempted deliberate homicide charge related to an altercation he had with the bouncer at the Bodega Bar here in Missoula. He was ejected from the bar for his behavior. He returned about 10 to 15 minutes later with a gun, held it to the bouncer's side, and he's alleged to have attempted to pull the trigger before the bouncer stabbed him in self-defense.
Marks asked Judge Marie Anderson for more than just the $75,000 bond for the attempted deliberate homicide charge.
The state's recommendation in this case is that bail be set in the amount of $75,000 to run consecutive to the $20,000 warrant in his other case. I would note his lack of ties to the community. As indicated, I think he's primarily based out of Colorado. And the violent nature of this offense as well as the other offense where he had an outstanding warrant.
Bail was set at $75,000, consecutive with a $20,000 warrant for aggravated assault. The total then is $95,000. The U.S. Supreme Court has overturned a Montana court's ruling that 2 BNSF railway workers could sue the company for their injuries to the state, even though the men never worked in Montana. The High Court ruled 8-1 on May 30th that the state courts don't have jurisdiction over a railroad company headquartered elsewhere, just because it has tracks running through those states. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote in the opinion that deciding the workers' cases in Montana would be a violation of the Texas-based BNSF's due process rights under the 14th Amendment. The Montana Supreme Court ruled a year ago that railroad workers have special protections that allow them to file injury lawsuits wherever their employers do business. BNSF officials argued that would allow, quote, forum shopping, end quote, or filing lawsuits in courts likely to favor those plaintiffs. 48-year-old Justin Tomlinson is being held in the Missoula County Jail on $20,000 bond after allegedly forging nearly $12,000 in checks from his own mother's account. And when police arrived to investigate, he was found hiding in a closet. Tomlinson is charged with 2 felonies, exploitation of an older person and forgery, according to Deputy Missoula County Attorney Lacey Lincoln.
It appears he's stolen over $12,000 from her in the past 6 months. He's resorted to intimidation and physical neglect to keep the victim isolated, dependent, and quiet. He does live with her, and she's very scared of retribution from him once he is released. She did obtain a restraining order against him on Friday.
Lincoln told Judge Marie Anderson that Tomlinson has an extensive criminal history.
The defendant has a history of 2 separate PFMAs, as well as 11 violations of orders of protection, 8 from 2015 and 3 from 2016 that recently resolved in the city court. He's still serving a deferred sentence on his last PFMA. Those involve the violence towards his ex-girlfriend, not his mother.
Lincoln also asked Judge Anderson that Tomlinson have no access to his mother's finances or bank accounts. Judge Anderson set bail at $20,000 and ordered Tomlinson to have no contact with his mother. A motorist struck and killed a 77-year-old man crossing an Anaconda Street during a heavy rainstorm. The Montana Highway Patrol told the Montana Standard that the collision occurred just before 2:30 Monday morning, and the driver said the traffic light was green. The 37-year-old Florida man said he did not see the pedestrian until he was just a foot or two away and was unable to swerve and miss him. The victim is from Anaconda. His name has not yet been released. The collision remains under investigation. Federal mine safety officials will discuss recent coal mining deaths during a meeting this week in West Virginia. The meeting, coming up on Thursday in Beaver, West Virginia, near Beckley, will also address regulatory issues. Interested parties unable to attend may participate by teleconference or online using WebEx. West Virginia's had 4 coal mining deaths between January 1st and May 22nd, surpassing the total of 3 for all of 2016. Kentucky had 2 deaths in the same time period, the same as its 2016 total. Federal Mine Safety and Health Administration records show the only other coal mining death in 2017, that is here in Montana. Deputy Assistant Labor Secretary for Operations Patricia Sylvie will speak on current mine safety and other issues. MSHA's Office of Technical Support will make a presentation on coal impoundments. And speaking of coal, protests keep pouring in after President Donald Trump's withdrawal last week from the Paris Accords on climate change. One of those groups, Environment Montana, is headquartered right here in Missoula. Executive Director Sky Borden was disappointed but not surprised at Trump's actions.
I think it was an opportunity for the U.S. to really lead on climate. I think we're ceding that moral high ground to places like China and India. I'm disappointed, but I also feel like it's an opportunity for the states and the cities to step up and really commit to a 100% renewable energy future.
Borden said the movement toward renewable energy is basically unstoppable.
The city of Atlanta recently voted on a resolution to commit to 100% renewables, and the Senate in California recently did that in the state this week. So there's a lot of movement, and it's an unstoppable movement at this point. Already renewables are employing more than twice as many people as coal.
Borden said history will judge the president's actions harshly and that it weakens Americans' leadership when it's needed most. Finally, Knife River began some serious construction work on Orange Street yesterday that will impact travel on that road through much of the week. Here's project manager Mike Eichner.
We're going to start working at night to complete this water main project. So we're going to shut down the whole 104 exit, eastbound on and off ramps, westbound on and off ramps, and shut down Orange Street at the intersection of 3rd.
He said the goal each day is to reopen the roads between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. as the crews attempt to hammer out work on the water main in the nighttime hours. Our news talk time now is 6:13.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Partly to mostly sunny skies today with our high temperatures in the low 80s. Tonight we'll drop back into the low 50s. We'll see our high temperatures Wednesday and Thursday right around the 90-degree mark with an increasing shower and thunder threat by Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster, KECI 13.